Hey guys, Kira here, and today I'm going to be filming the Bookish Shopping book tag. It's original book tag by Hugo from Scientist Reading World. And I'm going to have a link to his channel and his video down in the description below. So this is kind of an interesting book tag. It's all about like shopping habits of books. And I thought it looked like a really fun book tag. So let's just go ahead and get into the questions. The first question is, how do you buy books? Physically because you believe in the power of touch, or online because interactions are overrated? I think I do like kind of a mixture. Overall, I do prefer the physical books. No, I think he's asking, do I buy them online or do I go to a store? I think that's like what this question's asking. So overall, I am not super close to like any bookstores, so if I can order it, I usually order it. And I do prefer physical copies over digital copies. However, if I can get my hands like on like maybe a $2 online Kindle deal book, I will buy it there too. But overall, like as much as I love going to the bookstore, going to the bookstore is a treat for me because it is really far out from where I live. But overall, I would prefer to go to a bookstore, but I usually get better deals online, so I prefer to shop online. Question number 2, do you prefer bigger bookshops or smaller ones? The only like bookshop like that I go to is like a Barnes & Noble, and that's pretty close, and that's like the one like that's furthest away, like that's pretty far away from me, and that's the closest one to me. So I like that one, but if I have the opportunity, I like to go to, there's this used bookstore in Jacksonville, Florida, and it is called, what's it called? Chamberlain's Book Mine. And it is a used bookstore, and I would consider like that probably like a smaller chain because they only have 2 of them there. But it's still a labyrinth of books. So I guess maybe like I do prefer like bigger bookstores. It's like my favorite used bookstore because they sell both new and used, and if you take your used books there, like you get money for them. So yeah, I really love, I think I'm gonna say I really love bigger bookshops like over smaller ones because I love being lost in a labyrinth of books. And Chamberlain's Book Mine like just kind of like projects like labyrinth to me. It's wonderful, it's glorious, like there's wall-to-wall books like everywhere. I just love it so much. Question number 3, do you prefer to buy books when they are brand new, being the first to touch them, it being in great condition, or do you prefer used ones, the books having character, history, and personality? Honestly, I prefer new books because, for one thing, during COVID and stuff, I was kind of like a little bit of a germaphobe before, but like now I'm just so self-conscious of it. Even the books like that I do get, I actually wipe them down like with a little bit of Dawn dish soap just to sterilize them. And for me, like the whole like thumbing through pages and stuff, I wouldn't be able to sterilize the pages. So that's one thing. But the other thing is like I take very good care of my books. Like I have like the little like zipper like book sleeves like that I carry around in my purse, so like that they don't get, so the pages don't get whacked out and like they don't get hurt. Like I'm very protective. Like I'm like the nesting mother over my books because like I am so protective over them. So for me, like I used to buy used books as long as like they were in really good condition. Sometimes I would even buy like, you know, the used library books, but since COVID hit, like I really haven't been wanting to do that because like, you know, germs and stuff like that. So I'm very self-conscious about that. So lately, like I have been trying to get good, I've been hunting for good deals on brand new books. Question number 4, are you a coupon TLC level crazy person or full price Sweet 16 MTV? I don't like to pay full price for anything, which is why I usually order it online. I like to wait for coupons. I like to wait for discounts. Unfortunately, like Amazon tends to be the cheapest for a lot of things, like as far as books go, and I do happen to order from there. I also really love Blackwell's, which is over in the UK. They're one of my favorites. Like typically, like if I have an issue like finding a book that I want from a lot of different places, I usually shop at Blackwell's. Also, like they have been very good to me. I stopped using Book Depository because I've been having a lot of problems like with their customer service. And I've been very unhappy with their customer service, and like, what was it, like last year I got into an argument like with them, like saying like that, oh well, you know, like we're not going to refund your money because like it was your mess up, and you know, like you have to go to your credit card company. So I did, and it was a whole mess. Like their website was a whole mess, and honestly, like, it left a really bad taste in my mouth when it comes to Book Depository. But Blackwell's doesn't deliver everywhere, but they deliver a lot of places, so I definitely promote Blackwell's like over Book Depository because I am so unhappy with Book Depository. Like, let's see, 5, read, research, and analyze Sherlock Holmes style or impulse buyer like a shopaholic. So typically, like, when I go to a bookstore or when I'm shopping for books online, I will look at reviews. Yes, I'm a reviewer, but I've really grown to appreciate, since I started doing reviews, for other reviewers, because like it gives me like a lot of good feedback about firsthand accounts, and it also gives me like insight like into whether the stuff that they were bothered by would bother me. So typically, like, what I'll do is like I'll look at some of the reviews, I'll look at the rating on Goodreads, and I'll kind of like, you know, like think about like, well, okay, so is this going to be a book that's going to be right for me? Recently, I had my birthday a couple weeks ago, and I actually impulse purchased a few books because like they were buy one get one 50% off, and I was kind of curious to see like if I was going to like them. Honestly, like my opinions on books seem to be pretty consistent like with the average rating of Goodreads, but overall sometimes like I'm very surprised by my opinions on them, and it doesn't always line up. So I decided like that, you know, like during my birthday, like I would go ahead and like, you know, kind of pick out a few books like that I didn't necessarily know anything about, that I haven't really seen a lot of people on any of the book social medias really talk about. So I really hope to read those soon and give some feedback. Okay, so question number 6. A book or two at a time or full cart pandemic style till the mailman dies? Okay, so there was a period of time during the pandemic, like it was towards like the beginning of the pandemic, and I was like mass buying books because I wasn't sure like where the world was headed. I'm like, I have to have reading material. So Target was doing this sale where it was buy two get one free. They do still occasionally do that sale, and I actually stocked up on quite a few books like that I was looking at because like it was such a good deal to get buy two get one free, and their prices were almost consistent with Amazon's prices. So not only was I getting the buy two get one free deal, but I was averaging maybe like anywhere between $8 to $9 per book, which is super cheap when it comes to like brand new books. But honestly, like normally I'll buy like maybe like 1 or 2 books at a time, but I don't normally like go all out like that. But there was just so many like books, and I was home so much. Actually, like I'm still home a lot, so I've still been like kind of like buying quite a few books because I'm still home, not really wanting to do anything or go out or do anything like that. I feel like COVID's been very traumatic for like a lot of people, and I'm not ready to go out there yet. Okay, question number 7, new and recent releases or older and classics. There is this, I do kind of like classics, like if they are physically attractive, like they have to be, I like the fancy classics, like the plexi bound type classics from Barnes & Noble. And then they recently came out like with a seasons edition of books like that, where there's like a limited edition like of 10,000 per book, and each season has 4 different books. So I've been collecting those as well, because like they're beautiful. Like they have kind of like a stenciled outer jacket, and then a colored solid like bareback. So like they're so gorgeous. So like those I've been collecting. But overall, like unless like the classic is super attractive, I do prefer the new books over the classics, just because like, you know, I feel like a lot of classics, like they don't always hold up with the way that they're written. And I know like they're classics and everything, but that to me, like that doesn't mean like that. It just means like they've been around like a long time and that they've been relevant for quite a while. But that doesn't mean like that they're the books that I enjoy reading. At least like not all of them. Some of them like are really good though. Like Pride and Prejudice and The Portrait of Dorian Gray like are 2 of my favorite classics. Also Wuthering Heights, Jane Eyre, like those ones. I love all those. Question number 8. Are you a pre-order total fan freak or wait until it arrives at the bookshop because it can wait? It depends. If there are books that I'm worried about missing the release dates to, I will go ahead and I'll pre-order them just so I don't forget that they're coming out. There's so many seasons like that we go through, like where so many books get released, and sometimes it's really hard to keep all the books that you're really excited about straight. Mainly because like there's just so much going on like with the books. Like there's just so many books out there, like, and there's so many coming out. How do I read all of these like in one lifetime? But at the same time, like I'm just like, oh, like I want it, because like sometimes like they discontinue hardbacks if it comes out in hardback, and I'm a collector, so if there's like a beginning of a series like that's coming out and the first one's in hardback, I like to go ahead and get the hardback so that I don't miss out on getting the whole set in hardback. I'm also like one of those people like that likes to have it uniform, and so sometimes like, you know, me pre-ordering books really helps me like to keep consistency like with hardbacks versus paperback. Question number 9, do you prefer special, expensive, beautiful covers, color edges, and unique editions, or is the inside of the book that counts? Well, of course it's the inside of the book that counts, but it's like if you go out and you decide that you want to wear a dress. Yeah, inside is what counts, but it's nice to have a good looking dress to wear out in the town. So I recently have been, I mean, I used to love sprayed edges. I still love sprayed edges, but right now, stenciled sprayed edges is where it's at for me. I love stenciled sprayed edges. I am obsessed with stenciled sprayed edges. And a lot of like the book boxes, especially like Illumicrate and Fairy Loot, have been doing them. And I even like recently I noticed that the Bookish box is also doing them. And I'm like obsessed. Like I'm just so like I'm in 7th heaven like right now, because to me when I buy an expensive, aesthetically pleasing book from one of the book boxes, I feel like I'm not just buying a book. I feel like I'm buying a piece of art. I feel like being a collector, like I'm not just a collector, but like I'm kind of an art enthusiast too, because like not only are the words written on the inside of the book, pieces of artistic interpretation of the world around us and an artistic interpretation of the world that lives inside this person. But the external being aesthetically pleasing is also art to me. So I feel like to have like the whole package is just the dream. So I do like aesthetically pleasing books that are inside and out. Question number 10, picture your favorite book. Do you show your love by buying multiple copies, or do you believe in a single true love? I show my love by buying multiple copies, because usually the multiple copies have all these like different aesthetics. I don't know if you guys remember when Addie LaRue came out, but like I have like 7 versions of that book, and they just came out with an and they're coming out with an illustrated one of that also. And each one of the books not only has different colored sprayed edges, but all the covers are slightly different, and the barebacks like on them are also different, each and every one. Pretty much all of them are signed, and I'm so obsessed with that collection because like they are just beautiful each in their own way and each aesthetically pleasing. And so like when I found out like they were coming out, I freaked, and I absolutely like decided to kind of like dig in to that beautifulness of it. And I just, oh my god, I'm so excited. Like it's like they're just so pretty. And like having multiple copies, like for me, like I love having multiple copies of a book, like especially if I loved it. And like it's like they're aesthetically pleasing. Like once again, I love the aesthetics. Okay, so number 11, I've kind of already answered this, but name your favorite places to bookshop. So Blackwell's online, I really love them. I also really love Barnes & Noble and Amazon, and of course like Illumicrate and Fairy Loot, like when they have like their special editions, and most recently the Bookish box. And I've even kind of like occasionally like bought from a few other places that I can't really think of like right now. There's like a lot of places like I go to buy books. It's pretty much like competitive, so whoever has the best deal and is basically like who I go with. Because like for me, like saving money is kind of like the most important thing. So this is asking me to tag some people. So I'm going to tag Gabby from Books and Other Nerd Things, Sasha over at The Wild Sasha, and Femka over at Bookish Buddies. So I'm going to leave their links down in the description below of the people that I tagged for this. And I'm really kind of curious to see what their opinions are on all of this, because like this was such a fun tag, and I really think it gives like people kind of a feel like for, you know, like your bookish shopping habits. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed this tag. If you guys like this video, hit the little like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell hit the little bell over here. I can't talk tonight, can I? But the bell over here, just go ahead and hit that, because like if you hit that, like it's supposed to like, you know, let you know every time I post videos. It doesn't always do that though, just letting you know. But it's supposed to. And so you guys will receive an email every time I post. And also all my social media links are linked in the description below. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you guys again very soon.